going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam. This is Jordyn. And we are back to our regular scheduled programming here. We had guests, live show, guest. We were talking about it. Jordyn was like, I feel like I haven't even talked to you in like a month. And I'm like, it's probably because we really haven't. Like, we haven't had our one-on-one time in quite some time that wasn't a live show.
Mm-hmm. It definitely, I remember like literally when we were talking about the show today, I was just like, it feels so weird and it's been so long and we haven't had an off week, but yeah, the live show, I just think there's so much more to think about when you're on a live show. And there were so many people in the comments that we were interacting with and getting to, and then we had our amazing guests, loved having them on. Like phenomenal episodes. We were so lucky, but yeah, we haven't just had like our therapy podcast episodes in a while, so I'm so excited to see you.
I know, and we barely prepared for this, so it's gonna be like back to the old days, for us just shooting the shit basically. Also, thank you guys. We are at 200 subscribers on YouTube. We hit it today, so I'm very, very excited about that. But Jordyn, tell me about the Phillies. You're in a good mood, which means the show will go well today.
Yes, no, everything is going to be okay. The world will keep burning. I tweeted out this afternoon. So for those that don't know, we're recording the episode Wednesday night. So the Phillies game literally just ended. Like I was sitting here and I heard them saying the game is over. It was over for a long time. We won 10-2. But yeah, so I tweeted out this morning and I was like, oh my God, we're recording at 8:30 Eastern time. The game starts at 5. The game's going to be wrapping up just as we're starting. And I was like, so there's a chance I am miserable on this podcast episode, but it could not be more of the opposite. That was one of the most unreal baseball games, playoff baseball games that I've ever watched ever. It was literally home run after home run. We hit 6 home runs.
That's impressive.
6. We won 10-2 against one of the best offenses in the MLB. So I'm very happy.
So this was game 3, right?
Yeah. So now we lead the series 2-1 and we're still in Citizens Bank Park tomorrow. So we could win it all Thursday night.
So this is, do you go to the World Series if you win this? Or is it go to the next round?
Baseball playoffs are excruciatingly painfully long. So we had the wild card. We swept in the wild card. Then we went to, right now it's the divisional series, the NL divisional series. Then we go to the NL championship series. Well, we'll play either the Diamondbacks or the Dodgers. It's looking like the Diamondbacks right now. And then if we beat the Diamondbacks or the Dodgers, whatever ends up happening, then we move on to the World Series.
So it's like NFL playoffs then. You have to go through all these different.
Okay, yes, but it's with the series that make it 10 times longer. Yes. So like the wild card is best of 3. So you have to win 2. Then this series is 5. The next series is 5, and then the World Series is 7.
7, yeah. God, so much baseball.
So much baseball. And like the NFL, it makes sense to have all these steps because it's just one game. Like baseball, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I love playoff baseball, but it's definitely like, I'm just like itching. I'm just like, I just want it to be World Series time.
Yeah, for sure. I get that. Well, I have not been watching anything of the MLB postseason because I don't care.
Are you hurting over the Yankees? Are you boycotting?
Not even.
Okay.
Like, I'm just kind of like, unless the Yankees are in the postseason, I normally don't watch it.
No, that's fair. I'm basically the same way. I didn't watch MLB postseason for 11 straight years, and now it's like I live for it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, your team's in it. It's like if your team's in it, then it's more exciting, as opposed to like NFL that I watch for everybody and every team. That's different. But even the basketball, and basketball, like when the finals come around, I watch like the last 2 minutes of every game because that's like the most exciting part of the game.
My mom, it's so funny you say that because my mom always said, and she said this more around March Madness time. But she always says, she was like, the last 3 minutes are the only part of a basketball game that literally matter. It's like, especially in college. But I was like, now that you mention it, like, that's kind of true.
Like every basketball game should be 3 minutes long because that's all that matters. Like, I would watch more basketball. That's
If
for
it
sure.
was just 3-minute intervals.
I
It's like,
remember,
okay, you
like,
play 5,000 games this season, but they're just 3 minutes each.
yeah. No, I mean, I would watch that.
Yeah.
I would really watch that. But I remember when the Warriors and the Cavaliers were in the finals, and I was like deep into basketball at that point in time. Like I was so into it for some reason. And then after that, it just like faded away. And I was like,
Well,
what happened?
yes, I remember that too. That's when Golden State was like the dynasty. And
Yes.
I would be so invested in NBA playoffs and NBA finals. And I haven't had that. Maybe it's just because the Sixers have like completely demoralized me and made me like they took away my soul as a human being in the NBA postseason. So like maybe that has something to do with it. But no, I know. Sorry, I am so furious at the Philadelphia 76ers for everything they've put me through the last handful of years. And everyone's like I keep making TikToks about like the Phillies, the Philadelphia Union, our soccer team is back in the playoffs. And then Eagles, obviously, and I keep talking about them, and everyone's like, what about the Sixers and the Flyers? I'm like, they don't get my attention until they do things, like until they figure themselves out. Then we at least the Flyers are consistent.
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about the Flyers, like ever.
Because that literally, like, if you went like to a Flyers game, it's like empty now. Like everyone I know who used to have Flyers season tickets, like don't even have their season tickets anymore. Like it's just an organization that's just like
Gritty.
it's just a hot mess. Gritty.
It's just gritty.
Gritty is keeping them afloat. I don't even know. What is your hockey team? Rangers?
Yeah, my dad was a Rangers fan like 70s and 80s, so I used to watch a lot of Rangers when I was younger
Mhm.
because they were good. So like we were watching it and my best friend Erin, she's like a diehard hockey fan. So like there would be times where I would watch the games with her, but like recently I'm just like I don't know. Who's
No.
even playing? Connor Bedard. That's all. The Hughes
No.
brothers. Like that's all I know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jack Hughes. He, you know what we should do? This is I'm recreating our situation that happened with Dariel and Ashton. Except this one I think is much more obtainable because we love her and we're friends with her. But we should get Annie, our hockey queen, on an episode to give us like a hockey 101 rundown.
And that would actually be perfect because hockey just started.
Exactly.
We will
Marketing.
reach out to Annie. Annie OD. She is our
Annie,
girl.
please come
I
hang out with us.
we adore Annie here. Yeah, that
Yeah.
actually probably be awesome because hockey is entertaining to watch. And they're starting a hockey red zone. Did you see that?
Yes. And that's the thing.
Frozen
Like,
Frenzy.
yes, every time I sit down and like watch a hockey game, I get into it. But right now, like, because the Flyers have been bad for so long, I haven't been paying attention to them, which means I haven't been like, I don't know anything that's going on. So I just need like a quick education. Like, if you tell me like the main guys, the main teams, if I have some understanding of the competitiveness behind it, then
Yeah.
I can be a part of it.
It makes sense to me. I'm just changing our ticker because it's been saying new episodes every Wednesday when in fact we now put them out on Thursday. So
This is true. We did switch to
just
Thursday.
changed our ticker.
I also don't think we ever even really announced
We
that.
did not announce that either. No, we
We
just
just
decided to
made the
make it
switch. We
Thursdays.
changed all the social media bios and then just made the switch.
Did we change? Did you change the bios? I didn't even know that.
I changed at least TikTok, but I don't think Instagram said it. Let's double check,
Yeah,
shall
that's
we?
fine. Yeah, people know where to find us at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. So
Oh no, it does still say new episode every Wednesday.
I don't think it matters. I don't think people are like sitting there on Wednesdays like, where is it?
Where's
the episode? When in fact we just record on Wednesdays now.
Yeah.
But I saw a TikTok and it was like a kind of like a what's the word? Like a situation
Okay.
like a situation that you would never ever be in, but like it's a hypothetical. That's the word.
Okay.
So stop me if you heard this, but I saw it on my For You page and I was like, I need to bring this up on the podcast because it's ridiculous. So I forget the guy's username. He's this blonde guy. Shout out to him. I don't remember what his name is. But basically, it's like, okay, so you're in a room and you're just like in like your plain clothes. You don't have any weapons or anything. It's just yourself. And 15 feet in front of you is a spawn disc in which a 12-year-old version of yourself will spawn out of and run at you in full speed. You have 60 seconds to take down your 12-year-old self. If they're down on the ground for 10 seconds, they will disappear. And then after that 60-second timer is up, a new 12-year-old you will spawn. So, and also if you don't get the other 12-year-old down within the 60 seconds, one will still spawn. So now you have two 12-year-olds of yourself. So the question is, the hypothetical is, how many 12-year-olds of yourself do you think you could take on before they take you down?
None. I haven't grown since I was 12. It'd be like me taking on me, but probably a little more fit and more aggressive and more juvenile. And I literally stopped growing in 8th grade. Like,
I mean, me too. So
yeah, it would literally be me now, but younger and more active, just full on coming at me. I'm done. Like, there's no chance.
I thought about this for a long time because, like, I feel like I am much stronger now as a adult woman, and I think I have the skills to take down a 12-year-old version of me because also like 12-year-old version of me was like a little bit nerdy, but like a little bit cool. You remember like you know there was ever like nerdy kids at your school that just like the cool kids just like accepted? That was me.
That was
Yeah.
also me.
It was literally like I was friends with everybody because I went to the same school my whole life. So
Mhm.
like it was the same girls every single I went to an all-girl school. So I went same girls every single year. And like 12-year-old me was like almost like a tomboy, pick me-ish kind of girl. Like I was like, I like football. Do you like football? Baby, baby, baby. So like I feel like I've been like as an adult, I'd be like, whoa. And I would feel like I would just be able to like hold her by her forehead as she like tried to like come at me. And I would just like hold her there. I feel like I could get like at least 10 of them and
Shut
be able to
up. Really?
yeah, like at least and like they would be all surrounding, but like I've been kickboxing now for like almost
Yeah,
a year.
that's
I feel like
true.
I have skills for that.
See, like I'm completely uno reverse, and I was super nerdy. Like I remember in 8th grade, I literally there was a game being played on me, where everyone would steal my Harry Potter books out of my locker and like hide them in other lockers, and like it was
What?
funny. I know. Wait, this is a side note, but this just reminded me of it. My mom always makes fun of me because like I'm very optimistic and I try and see the best in like all situations. And I remember that one. And then there was another time I was in elementary school. I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. Oh, I must have been 3rd because the girls were older. And they put like gum or like sticky, like a big lump of like sticky slime in my hair. And I had to put like all this peanut butter on to slide it out. We had to cut a couple pieces. And my mom was like,
Jordan.
I know. My mom was like, Are you being bullied? And I was like, No, mom. Like they were just playing. Like we were all just playing.
No, no, no. You were being bullied.
I was literally being bullied. And then I just described the Harry Potter situation. And I'm like, damn, I think I was also being bullied.
You were 100% being bullied.
I was. But, and you know what? It's okay. Bullying builds character. And I don't think I'd be as funny today as I am if it wasn't for those trying times. So thank you.
No, I agree. I agree. Trauma makes you funnier.
It does. But yeah, I was definitely being bullied. But anyway, back to the point. My younger self, you're kickboxing, like you literally did you take self-defense classes too? Or was that
In
all?
college,
Did you learn
yeah.
it? Yeah. Me, when I was 12, I was like a competitive dancer on a like competition
True.
team, training like 30 hours a week and just just ended my figure skating career where I had a Russian coach that was just like all over you. Literally, I got flexible and like got my split because she just came over and pushed me to the ground and was like, "There, you're flexible." And I was like, "Thank you." So yeah, I was in much different shape then than I am right now. So and again, same size. So I think I'm done. I'm done.
This is just one. You think it just one just
I
pops
could
out
probably
and
hold off like one, maybe two, but the second that third came at me, and I was like vicious. Like I would have like pulled hair or like kicked behind the kneecap. Like, so no, I would have been like, you little twits, get off of me. Talking about my own younger self.
yes. No, I mean, think about when you're 12. Like, you are the most annoying person on the planet.
So ungodly annoying.
Like, I kid you not. Well, actually, so third grade. How old was I in third grade? Like 10, 9 or 10?
Oh wait, you're 12 in
No, eighth grade.
8th grade.
Yeah,
Did
like
you?
7th to 8th grade is like that 12, 13 range.
Okay, all right.
But like when I was in like third grade, so like 2 years, no, not two. How old am I in third grade?
That's what I don't know. I
I
was
think
gonna
I was
say
just
like,
thinking sixth grade. I was thinking sixth grade.
oh, got it.
I was
Um,
thinking sixth grade in terms of age.
wait, what was
But
it? I think like 7,
yeah.
8.
So that's like the beginning of you being annoying, right? Like you're entering like you're about to be 10 and you're just like, I'm the coolest person on the planet. No, you're not. I got my glasses in second grade. By the time third grade came around, I was wearing contact lenses because I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I remember I was 2 hours late to school the first day I put my contacts in because I could not get them in my eyes. And I showed up and I literally like stood in front of people and was like, you notice anything different? You notice anything different? And everybody was like, no, you're just not wearing your glasses. And I was like, yeah, that's because I'm wearing contact lenses. Like that was the kind of girl I was.
Oh
And it
no,
was like,
I was absolutely insufferable. That when I was 12, 8th grade is when I injured my foot for the first time. And it was one of those injuries that lingered for like 2 years. And you know how annoying a 12-year-old girl on crutches can be. Like I left every class early. I had everyone else carry my backpack for me. I had a pink cast that everyone signed.
you
You
know
know,
how jealous I was of girls who broke their foot or their leg?
I was too until it happened to me. Like the first 2 weeks, I was like, "Oh my god, I am on cloud 9." I got all the attention, but then like walking around on crutches, especially in like a big middle school, like I was getting like burns under my arms, like I was just like exhausted. I had to put like towels on the top of the crutches because they were like rubbing against me and like irritating me, and I was in a cast for like 8 weeks. So it was
Jeez.
a nightmare.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I was like really, really in shambles.
No, I
And then I
remember
went from the cast to a boot.
and then you were booting it around.
And then I was booting it around and I showed that off just as hard.
In like 5th grade, I remember the first time like this girl broke her foot and she was like in crutches and stuff. And I remember exactly why she broke her foot was because she was riding her Heelys on the sidewalk and her heel, like the wheel got stuck in the crack of a sidewalk and she fell. And like it got, I don't know, something happened. She broke her foot or leg or whatever. And I remember she was going around on the crutches or whatever. And literally anytime I saw her, I was like, hey, can I borrow your crutches? I want to see if I could do it. Like people would just like steal crutches to just
Yep.
like see if you could use crutches and like you'd have like crutches races and be like time me, see how fast I can go. You're like that's so messed up if you think about it. You're just like, hey, give me your crutches that you need to walk right now. I want to see if I can use them.
No, people were insane. And I had this one kid in my class who was just always like, you're faking. You're faking. And I'm like, dude, I was like, if I came in, you know, those girls that did like the knee brace, like over the jeans, like, come on, come on. We can see through you.
Yes.
Me, I was like, you think a doctor would literally put a giant freaking cast up to my knee, like around my whole, like, I was like, let's be real.
No. There was a girl that
I
like
steal my crutches every day.
in college, I like even though I went to a big school, like I feel like I could see all of the same people because like you're walking outside around the same
Mhm.
times because your schedule and everything. There was a girl from my freshman year of college to my senior year of college, 4 years I was at this school, she wore a boot. And like I literally like every time I saw it, like the first time I saw her, obviously I was like, she broke her foot, whatever. And like the more I saw her, the more I was like, I would be talking to my roommate and I'd be like, I think she just only has one shoe. Like I think that she just doesn't have another shoe. And like I can't judge her for that. Like that's fine. But like it would be snowing. It would be snow. I
No.
was up in SUNY Albany, like upstate New York. It'd be snowing, and she'd be walking around in this boot. And I'm like, your toes are gonna fall off.
No, literally. I remember that was like one of the worst parts about the boot.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I've never worn a boot. I've never broken any bones before. So,
God bless. God bless, because it's a nightmare.
like,
And
I've messed up stuff like joints and tendons, and I've rolled my ankle badly, but I've never broken anything.
No, I destroyed my right ankle to the point that for about 2 years, once I was out of the cast and the boot and everything, it was just so swollen from scar tissue. And I was going to physical therapy and everything, but it just wasn't going down. Probably because they told me to quit dance and I didn't. So I just like the scar tissue kept building. But I had to buy like for certain shoes, like especially like sandals that had like the buckle, I had to sneak 2 different sizes. Like I had to get one like a half size up because the strap like literally wouldn't go around. And I was like, this is disgusting.
Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that.
It was so bad. And I literally, poor Joyce Leslie, I would just go to their sandal section and just swap one of the sizes out. So like I probably screwed whoever got the other pair, but I had to do it. I'm not buying 2 pairs of shoes.
Joyce Leslie.
Did I just unlock a core memory for you?
That's the name I haven't heard in many years.
I remember Joyce Leslie.
Wait, did you go to Wet Seal?
Oh my God, yes. For the pencil skirts and the ruffly tops.
The way I lived at Wet Seal in college, because it was cheap too. So like I'd be like, I need a going out top and boots.
Yeah.
I wore a pair of combat boots. I'm pretty sure they were $10.
Mm-hmm.
They were the cheapest pair of shoes I ever purchased in my life. They were horrible. But I'd be like, I need a pair of black combat boots. They're going to be like my going out shoes. And I wore these things down to like, I mean, when I say wore them down, it probably took me like 2 months to get them broken. But like, I just lived in that store and it was so cheap. And I was like, this is everything.
I remember like, cause that's like the first time you like have money and you're like shopping for yourself and you're going out. And I just remember it being like an awakening for me. And I was like, oh my God. And I always rocked the pencil skirt with some really thick strap tank top and a little cardigan number on top. Yeah, it was quite the time in the 2010s.
I loved that. And I mean, obviously Forever 21 is still around, but I would walk into Forever 21 too, and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to buy a tank top in every single color, and it's going to cost me $12.
I don't know if you had this experience living so close to the city, but there was always this experience for like the South Jersey girls where you would go into Times Square for the day and you would go into the giant Forever 21. And it was like it was the tourist attraction, like going to shop at like the Forever 21 that went underground.
Oh my God.
Like we literally asked our parents, like, can you please take us to Times Square so we could go shopping in the big Forever 21? And it was like it was the heart of the trip. Like that Forever 21.
I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I don't think I've ever stepped into any store in Times Square in my life.
That's so real.
like I've definitely like been to Times Square. Like I've been there and I just walked through it like a week ago because I walked down from my office. But I know that is the most South Jersey thing I think I've ever heard.
Oh, it's so real. It's
like,
so
like
real.
You're close to the city, but like you still have to like travel to get there and like
exactly like it's still
like
an
excursion.
Yeah, like I mean I have just like casually gone to New York, but that's more older. Like when you're like in middle school and stuff, like it's a whole ass trip.
No, going into the city was like a field trip for me. Like they would be like, we're going to a museum, and we'd like take the bus or
That's
well,
Philly for
actually,
us.
I'm remembering now. So I went to Catholic school, and like for certain like holidays that were like big mass holidays, like they would let us go into the city to like a cathedral, like St. Patrick's Cathedral or something, and go to mass. And they would let a bunch of girls on the subway, like different cars. They'd be like, just make sure you get off on this stop. Like, no way. Like, no way. One time there was a bunch of girls in one car, like, and I was not in this car with them, and Cole and Dylan Sprouse were in this car because they went to NYU. And I was like, when I tell you I was furious.
I would have freaked out.
Like, I was with my friends, and like all of a sudden everybody's like sending text messages and everything. They're like, oh my God, we met Cole and Dylan Sprouse, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, huh? And I see these pictures and I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me right now. Like, they're a couple cars down and I missed it.
Sam, that was your villain origin story.
That's what sparked Riverdale. That's why Cole Sprouse joined Riverdale, because I did not meet him on
This
that
is true.
car.
No, you'll laugh at this one too. This is again just like outsider. No, I'm 100%. I'm a Philly girl. Like if I associate with a city, I'm a Philly girl, and we're close enough to New York, but like still outsiders.
Yeah.
So my freshman year of college, I went to Manhattan. I lasted 1 year and was like, please take me home. But yeah, I went to the small liberal arts school, and my two roommates, the one was from Florida and the other was from Rhode Island. So we're all in New York City. We're so excited, but so poor, like so disgustingly poor. Yeah. And like New York City, like there's zero college campus. Like we're in a 30-story apartment building that was just converted to dorms, and then you're on 55th Street, like in Manhattan. Like good luck. Mm-hmm. So I remember there was one night we really, really wanted like a nice dinner, but like again, so poor. And I don't know why our brains thought this would be a good idea, but we were like, oh my God, let's go to Fridays in Times Square.
Oh, the worst.
Literally so awful. We had to wait for forever. Our food took forever to come out. And then when the check dropped, because in our young, naive minds, we're like, Fridays is cheap. Fridays is safe. Prices don't change for Fridays. Yes, they do. Yes.
In Times Square, they do.
They absolutely do. And you should have seen our faces. Like,
yeah,
it was a very expensive bill, but we paid it. So
I will say, though, I've never been to a store in Times Square, but I have eaten at the Applebee's in Times Square.
I haven't.
Because I was meeting one of my friends from college, and she was, shout out Sam, she's my other Sam. She lived in Queens, and she was dog sitting for her cousin in the city. And so she was like, hey, I'm in the city. Do you want to meet me somewhere for drinks? And at the time, Applebee's was having a deal, and it was like $2 Grey Goose cranberries. Like, and we were like, oh my God, we have to go to Applebee's.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Applebee's in Times Square, it was like a $2 at any other Applebee's, but at the Applebee's in Times Square, they were like $6 per. So it's like not the end of the world. But like, we were also expecting to pay $2 a drink, and we got a ton of them because we thought they were cheap. And then we got entrees and everything, and we got that bill, and I was like, wait. I was like, excuse me, waiter, why is this $6? I thought it was supposed to be $2. And they're like, you're in Times Square. And I'm like, yeah. And then I don't know how I got home. Actually, I hung out with her for a little while, and the dog she was dog sitting, and then I took the one home, and I was like, how did I get on the ferry? I just appeared.
Yeah.
That was fun.
No, that was, like being 18, living in Manhattan, there are some situations that I look back in and I'm like, I got blessed, man. Like,
no, I literally
I could not be alive. Like
that's literally anytime I think about any college experience or any college thing that I've done.
This is true. This is very true.
And today, actually, I posted about it on my Instagram story. Today is my pet rock's birthday, and it was the rock that I found in college. at a gas station while I was inebriated. And his name is Pete, and he's now 9 years old because I have carried around this giant rock. It's about that big. It's bigger than my head. And now he's in my parents' backyard.
Happy birthday, Pete.
And the funny thing was that I would take I just carried him around. Like I brought him to the frat party. I brought him home.
How is it heavy?
Yeah, it's like 13 pounds. Yeah, no, I just carried it around with me. And I remember my friend Sam telling me, "Put it down." And I was like, "No, it's a giant rock. I want it." And then my other roommate, Amber, she was like, "Oh, no, you should keep carrying this around and bring it back to the dorm room." And I did. And then we started cutting stuff out with like construction paper, and we gave him little eyeballs, and like on certain holidays we like would make him like little hats and stuff, and he just sat in the bathroom and he was our rock.
He was our rock. He
He
held
was
us
our rock.
together.
He was our rock. Yeah, my mom sent me a wonderful picture today of him, and she dressed him up for Halloween in the backyard. And this is Pete. He looks
I'm
like a dinosaur egg.
screaming. That's one of the funniest
My
things
mom put
I've
a
ever heard.
ceramic pumpkin next to him.
I don't think I've heard this story
Have
about
I
Pete.
I've never told you about Pete. That's
I
crazy.
don't think so. I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's
That's
Pete.
amazing.
Now he's living his best life. I told my mom today. I was like, when I grow up, I want to be Pete.
No,
I
literally.
was picked up by a random girl and brought all the way back to Staten Island, and now I live a life of luxury in this wonderful grass next to a garden, and everybody likes me.
No, that should be everyone's goal. Pete should be everyone's inspiration.
He's mine. He's
Be
mine.
like Pete.
Pete is the OG, and he's now 9 years old.
God bless. No, thinking back to college and like I remember my one group of friends had a house. They like rented a house like on the party street of the school that I eventually transferred to.
Yep.
And we named the house the Trash Can. And it was a no name. Like you're like, oh, where are you going tonight? The Trash Can. Everyone knew what you were talking about.
Yep.
Which says all that you need to say. And I would walk around parties at the Trash Can with the giant, not like a single bottle of pink Moscato, like the
double
giant bottle of pink Moscato. And I don't know why in my college naive brain, I wasn't like, hey, Jordyn, just get a glass or a red Solo cup. No, chugging out of the bottle. I can't tell you how many of those I finished, but I will tell you, I will never drink Barefoot Pink Moscato ever again in my entire life.
I love Barefoot Pink Moscato. I still drink it to this day.
It came out of my system.
I'm fair.
Way too many times to think about enjoying it ever again.
I think we need to put into perspective too right now. Like White Claws were not a thing.
Exactly.
In college. And Jordyn and I are 2 years apart, but we had a very similar, timeline of events here in terms of what was going on. White Claws came out after I graduated. So like I was on like my freshman year of college, I was drinking Bud Light Strawberritas.
Yeah. I remember this.
I
was still chugging Mike's Hards every once in a while too.
Oh, Mike Hards?
Like
forget it.
The black cherry, my lips, my tongue, everything would be dark, deep, berry purple.
Let me tell you, my 19th birthday party.
Oh God.
Don't know if it happened or not. Sponsored by Mike's Hard Black Cherry.
Yep.
And Malibu.
Oh yeah. What else? Oh my God. I just unlocked a core memory for myself. You know what else I lived off in college? Red's Apple Ale.
Oh, my roommate Amber loved Reds.
Stop.
They were delicious.
They are. And like, it's funny because now I love Angry Orchard, which is basically like the more adult version of a Red's Apple Ale. But you know what? I kind of want to try one of them. Do they still make them?
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't seen one.
I've definitely had one.
I
definitely drank them after college.
Oh my God. I'm craving a Red's Apple Ale right now.
Oh, yeah, that sounds delightful. I love Angry Orchards.
Same. I love them.
They're so good. And like,
do you like sour beers?
I don't really drink any kind of beer.
I feel like you would like the sours, the fruity sours. They're sour.
Yeah.
But they have like a very fruity taste, and like the really fruity ones come in like they're like pink and like
Mm,
whatever color of the fruit they are basically. But
yeah.
I love them. They're just like refreshing.
Yeah. The only beer I'll drink is like a Corona or a Michelob Ultra.
Mhm.
Like, and those are like, if any beer drinkers will be like, disgusting. And I'm like, I'm not drinking it to taste the hops.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go on Thursday nights to go watch Thursday Night Football with Michael and his friends, and I drink Michelob Ultra because it's $2.
Yep.
That's why I drink it.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way with my Coors Light. And everyone's like, it tastes like water, right? I'm like,
That's the point.
that's literally the entire reason why I'm drinking it. It goes down like water. It tastes fine. It gets the job done, and it's cheap. Like,
Yep.
what more could you possibly ask for?
Yeah. But otherwise, any other beer or anything, I can't. It
I
makes
can't
me
do
feel
the
like I'm drinking
IPAs.
bread.
Yeah, I can't do the IPAs. Any light beer, except Miller for some reason, and I think it's because Miller tastes too much like beer. Um,
Yeah.
I can't do Miller Lite. Bud Light, Coors Light,
Yeah.
Michelob. I can do a Corona, but only in the summer if I'm on the beach and it has a lime.
Yeah.
Like, it
Fair.
has to be a very specific situation.
Fair.
I do like the ciders. I do like sours. I think I like beer. And then I like the blue moons or like the Belgium wheats with an orange.
Mm. That's what Michael goes for a lot of the
Oh,
times.
they're good. I don't get them too often, but every once in a while I'll just be like, damn, how about a blue moon right now?
Yeah.
Or a sock top.
I have had the orange shock tops. They're not
Love
bad.
those.
They're
Yeah.
they're very summery though. Like I feel like I have to like a Corona, like I have to have it in the summertime.
Yeah. I remember there was this once, I think this was COVID summer. They were selling and we were just like drinking in backyards, like yelling across the way to each other, like and
Good times.
no good times. And I remember Shock Top was selling like basically like an extended pack, and I think it was like 15 can or 14 cans, whatever it was. And I was just like, sure. And so I drank Shock Top for the entire COVID summer just because they gave me more beer and you needed it in those times.
Yeah, I remember my birthday. I have a summer birthday.
Mhm.
Your birthday was right as COVID started for the
That
most
was,
part.
I'll tell that story when you're done.
But my birthday was like a quarantine birthday, and I literally just had my immediate family. Michael did come over, I think, and then
Mhm.
my next door neighbors came by, and we made pineapple margaritas in the backyard, and we all sat, in a big giant like circle, and I was just sucking these things down. It was delightful. It
Oh,
was wonderful.
that sounds like glorious. I low key, there are certain things I do miss about quarantine. Obviously, I
I
like the
agree.
world where it is now, but there were perks. It wasn't all bad.
Let me tell you, those quarantine walks, they hit different.
Oh my
I
God.
loved my quarantine walks.
I was also drinking wine at like 2 p.m. every day. And just
It
like
was a weird it was a weird time.
it was a very weird time. But no, I think the national lockdown, like the official, like the world is shut down, was like March 15th or 16th, like right in that range. And my birthday's the 30th. And at that point, everyone was like, oh, like just a couple weeks, just a couple weeks. So my birthday's March 30th, like 2 weeks into quarantine. My sister's birthday is April 19th. So a couple weeks
Mhm.
after. So we're celebrating my birthday in like full lockdown, like just who was in my household because it was very new and very scary at the time. So like we
Yep.
didn't do anything. And I remember like at my birthday dinner, I'm pretty sure my mom, to make up for it, she made me like everything. She made like crab cakes, shrimp scampi, like anything I love. She'd like put
Aw.
on a plate because she was like, sorry, your birthday sucks right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I remember us sitting around the table and me to Spencer, and I was like, oh, by your birthday, we'll be out. Like, we'll be having fun. Like, no big deal. And then Spencer's birthday came around and we were like,
It was, like, worst. It was, like, the worst
literally,
time.
we were like, shit. And then like Mother's Day came and we were still on lockdown. And I was like, shit. Like,
No, I did not see Michael for 2 months.
yeah,
We
no.
we we were long distance via 1 mile away from each other.
Yeah.
Like, I think by the time, like, May came around, like,
Mhm.
mid-May, we finally, like my parents were just like, "Yeah, like, go and sit in the backyard with him because you haven't seen him." And so we sat
Yeah.
and Animal Crossing was the big thing. Animal
Yeah.
Crossing got me through COVID. So we would go I would go into his backyard, and we would play Animal Crossing together. And then eventually, by the time the summer came around, that's, like, when we started everyone started trusting each other a little bit
Yes.
more and just, like, kinda hoped for the best.
Yes. I was still like throughout the summer, I was still like with my grandparents and everything. I was still like behind a glass door just to
Oh,
be
yeah.
safe. But I did start seeing friends. Obviously, we weren't going out, but we just started like, I remember there was a lot of like garage hangouts where we would just like sit around a fold up table and be like, so what's
What's
going
up?
on? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's literally and I would talk to my the crazy thing is that we're not even next door neighbors anymore because we both live in different places, but Erin was living next door, and our, like, front door or, like, her side door and my front door are, like, 10 feet away from each other. So, like, I would stand on the stoop of my front door, and she would come out of her side door, and we would talk to each other because it was more than 6 feet, and we would literally stay there for, like, an hour and just, like, talk because 'cause I'm just like, "Are you okay? Are you
Yeah.
okay?" And
What's
she's
going
like,
on?
"My brother sniffled today," and everybody panicked. Like, it was like like, when you were like you woke up and you were like, "Is this a scratch in my throat,
Yes.
or am I just like did I just wake up?" And, like,
It was the most because I don't have crazy health anxiety ever. My sister is like a raging
Spencer has
hypochondriac.
yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Love her, but a little crazy. And yeah, I never like I'm the type where like if my throat hurts, I've needed my tonsils out since I was in like 6th grade. And guess what? I still have them. So I just like, I don't know. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. But I remember
No.
COVID, like anytime, like if I had a headache, like there were some mornings I'd wake up and be like, "Can I smell? Like, why don't I smell anything?" Like,
Oh my god, and the crazy thing too was I would give myself that same thought, and
oh,
then
yeah.
when we eventually did have COVID the first time, that was my only symptom, was that I couldn't smell or taste. So, like, I forget, one of my parents had it, and then I was, like, taking a sip of something, and I was like or it was my coffee.
Mhm.
I was taking a sip of my morning coffee, and I was like and I was like, "Oh, fuck." And I, like, took the test, and it was immediately positive, and I was
Yeah,
like, "But let me tell you, all I did was, like, drink soup." I think
yeah,
I lost, like, 3 pounds.
yeah.
Like, I was
No,
like, "Why am I gonna eat?"
I was honestly pretty fit during COVID because, like, I was doing yoga every
Me too.
day just to, like, keep busy and, like, you had nowhere to go. Me and Spencer got bikes. We were, like, biking. I downloaded an app to, like, track our bike trails. I was like, "This is
Yep.
lit."
Yeah. No, COVID was a crazy time.
I know. I
COVID
wish we
was a
could
really
have,
weird
like,
time.
a 1-month lockdown like
Every
every
year.
year, but knowing like it won't have any effects on the economy. We know that like no one's gonna get sick. Like
Maybe,
we,
like, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I could do 2 weeks. That makes more
Like
sense.
like, a month, I feel like it sounds good in theory, but, like, if you actually think about it, like, that's a long time to be inside.
It is, but you know what? I would fucking do it.
And it has to be in the springtime so that
Yes.
you can go outside and get, like, that happiness and, like, your
Just
vitamin
like
D.
recently, like winter just ended yesterday. Like
Right, and, like yes.
spring is new and fresh. There was something different in the air during COVID. Like, I remember the way the weather felt. Do I
Yes, it
sound
was like
crazy saying that?
no, because it was the most perfect weather
Yes,
ever.
it
Like, it
really
was,
was.
like, not too hot, and it was, like, a little bit warm, so, like, maybe you went out with a sweatshirt in, like, the morning, and then as the day went on, like, you shed your sweatshirt and had a t-shirt on, and it was, like, the sun was out, and it was, like, dewy smelling, and the flowers were blooming. It was a weird time, man. It was
Dude,
bizarre.
it was really, really bizarre. But we made it.
We did it.
We
We
did
did it.
it. That was the literally like I feel bad. I feel like the in terms of like people in our age vicinity, I feel like seniors in high school got
Works.
so screwed during COVID. There was like proms taken away, senior trips taken away, graduations. And I was a COVID grad. So like 2020, I was supposed to have a big graduation and we
Oh, that's
obviously
right.
couldn't have it.
That's right.
So my family did we ended up having a very small one at my school. They did like 50 kids at a time or something. And you got to put on your cap and gown and walk up, but like not the same as like a real college graduation. But I remember my whole family and like all our family friends did one of the drive-by
Oh, I loved those.
parades. Yeah, and they all made signs for me. I had signs all in my front yard, and I was like,
Wait, I loved those. We did one of those too. I forget whose birthday it was, but somebody had a birthday and we did the parade thing, and I was like, this is the cutest thing in the world. Humanity.
humanity.
But this was peak time for, what was that, that was 3 years ago, so I was like 24. Peak time for me to not have a job, get $800 a week because I was unemployed, and like it was wonderful. I made so much money. I made more money during COVID, I think, than ever.
No, literally because we weren't spending anything. Like you didn't
You
go
weren't
anywhere.
spending, and then they gave you all this extra money because you were, not your fault. And then if you worked off the books, then you get cash. And
yes. It was other than my shopping addiction, I was buying online clothes as if I'm the biggest introvert. Like I do not like being out in public around too many people. It makes me so anxious. People always say that they don't believe me because like I can talk and I'm good at talking, but I just don't I don't like being around big groups of people. I get such bad social anxiety.
Fair.
And I never really went out before COVID. And then during COVID, I was buying going out outfits and like all these like club clothes. And I was like, oh, I can't wait for the world to open up. I've never worn them. I still have they've never been touched. So I was like, who did I think I was going to become when the world opened back up? I just suddenly want to like party all the time.
Yeah. All I know is that COVID, I don't know if I would be on TikTok if it wasn't for COVID.
No, I was so against COVID. I mean, I was. That I still am.
No, I think we were all kind of like anti-TikTok because it was very different at the time. And then
I thought it was going to be like Musically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was.
It was, but like I thought that's what it still was. And then I finally downloaded it, and that TikTok was in its prime during COVID. Just all the families doing quarantine stuff.
Oh, that was a different time too. But like I would have definitely never downloaded TikTok. And I don't think that TikTok would have became what it is today if it wasn't for COVID either, because it gained so many users.
Yeah, I fully agree. Oh, this was a pretty nostalgic episode.
Yeah, no, the 12-year-old Spawn thing was the only thing I had, so.
And it sparked everything else. So, you know what? Good for you, because at least you came in with in with something, because I came in with nothing other than the Phillies. And yeah, your 12-year-old Spawn hypothetical basically set the tone for the whole episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed our walk down memory lanes. This was pretty cute. If you like this episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel here. If you are listening on audio, make sure to follow, rate on all podcasting platforms. Find us on our other social accounts at the Unsolicited _podcast for TikTok, Instagram, and Threads, and then at Sam and Jordyn for Twitter. And yeah, if you didn't know, we did switch our posting day to Thursday. So now you know. And we'll be back next Thursday.
All right, everybody.
Wait, no, we won't. I can't do an episode next week. I'll be in Jamaica.
Oh my God, Jordyn will be in Jamaica. No episode next week. But yeah, it's fine.
I didn't mean to lie to you. We'll be back the week after, I promise. I just have to sit in the sun and vacay for a little bit.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.